last time we spoke, the book was about to release. You had just seen preview copies, and now the book is out. You've seen reactions from various countries. What exactly has been the reaction like? And can you tell me about that experience?
For technical lovers.
For technical lovers.
It's very overwhelming because it's very unexpected from my point of view. Because it's my first commercial project in comics, and I am a visual artist, and I do works with paintings, video art, sound art, etc. But this is my first ever venture with comics, and thanks to Bijoy. Bijoy helped me and guided me all through the journey, unlike the Technicolour Lovers. So yeah, it's very overwhelming. It's very nice to see that people are loving it. People seeing the potential that I can do something new. So that is quite fascinating, and that is quite.
Right now, so Utsab, with first book, out in public. So when do you think we will be able to see its sequel? Because I think it is going to be a trilogy. Correct, if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think some good things need time, proper time. So that's why we will have to wait for the story to get it full fledged, and the artwork will be more detailed, more intricate, and will be different from book one. Okay. Very different, because book 2 and book 3 will be complicated as well.
So are there plans in which, we come to see that some artists, they spend the entire, the complete, if it's a trip, maybe you work on both simultaneously if the script is already in place. So what is the method that you both, how does that work? From Bijoy also with you, does he hand over the entire script, or is it something that we discuss?
It's part, because it's a continuous shift with the story and the artwork as well. So it is very difficult to finish in one go. So that's why we have to explore with the story, with the artworks as well. So yeah, it's a simultaneous journey on the whole process.
I saw that recently you did post about, original art that you had it on sale. And we're kind of glad that, this is pretty unique in India. As far as we have had people, comics, of course, for decades on, but someone who is posting about their original art being available for the public. So what went behind that? Because this now, you come from fine arts background. So was that one of the reasons why you see, you're not maybe so attached to the art in that way once it is out?
Or I think India has that kind of potential to collect original artworks, because I think when an artist when delivering the original artworks for the audience, I think it's best for the audience as well to get connected through the audience. So that's the main point. That's the main motto of selling original artworks, to get connected.
This is in the business end of thing. Many artists are represented by art representatives who are there throughout the world who help distribute it. So it makes it easier for the artists to focus on the creative end of things rather than the business end of things. So do you plan to do something like that?
I don't have really plans.
Right.
So let's see.
But it's something,
For itself.
but it's something that you don't really say no to. You're open to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, since we last spoke, are there any interesting things that you read that you really like?
From your suggestion, I have bought recently Blood Drink.
Right.
And this is quite fascinating now. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
I think in the first page itself, he outlines how how difficult it was for him to get that into fruition. And he's not a writer himself.
Yeah.
So just the process of him trying to write that book, I think he had one 10 years ago, and then he made into a full-fledged world. So have you ever considered being a writer yourself? Write and also
Not for comics. I have written in my previous times. So I write poems, proses,
Okay.
and some short stories as well.
Great.
But not in a professional manner. And not for comics, absolutely.
But there are some illustrated works, right, in which
Yeah.
the art, is accompanying some sort of poem, and it becomes like they're very interesting experiments.
Yeah.
Maybe done even by the
It's done it. I have done it in my other projects. They are my solo projects.
Right.
So one day I will find the publishers as well. So let's see.
because self-publishing obviously is very difficult also.
Very different. Very different. My layout and my final output, it's totally different. Basically, I am jotting down all the sensory ellipses in it. But it would be different altogether in inking. So let's see where it goes. In starting the inking process. Like,
So this is what you call a layout, right? Like,
I don't do different layouts because it will ruin all the visual imagery in my nights. So I will keep doing that if I can. That's
I saw you mentioning that you were a big fan of Kim Jong-gi,
Yeah,
and that
Huge,
person he
huge,
did
huge
not
fan.
have layouts.
yeah.
He drew like
He's a
totally-
master. I cannot achieve that kind of level
Right,
of
right.
intensity.
It's very rare for even
It's
professionals
Yeah,
to do that kind
he's
of.
phenomenal.
Are you aware of Abhishek Singh's work?
Yeah.
Even he
I
does
also told
something
him.
similar.
Yes. He
for the
posted.
book of-
He posted recently about Kim Jong-gi.
Right, yes.
So I commented there. So I had a dream to meet Kim Jong-gi, but unfortunately, he got left.
I was very young too. It was so sudden. Can you tell us about the pens that you're using, the different glass?
it's a regular one from Bustro. It's a pie. Kim Jong-gi has taught us tools are not important. Your vision is important. He's a great inspiration. Great. And I think I cannot achieve that kind of level of skill in my life.
So for artists, it's always good to have that
And he's so humble at the same time.
paramount, that unachievable thing that you always strive to at least reach. You recently posted also about working with As the Comics. So how has that been? How was the character? Can you tell us about that?
It's going really well. I can tell you about the Half Shape. This is very new project for Alpha. And this is quite new for me as well because it's based on totally on history. Let's see. I can talk much about it because it's a very new project from Alpha. And it will be very new from the production perspective as well. We haven't done it earlier.
Is this going to be a standalone novel, or will it come out issue-wise?
Standalone. It will be 100-page graphical. And it will be again hand painted, totally hand painted.
And is there any specific artist or artists who's you're looking to as inspirations for this kind of storytelling?
There are many. I am very bad with names, so I cannot. So many names. That's the main problem with me. But yes, there are lots of artists. To be honest, sir.
So that'll be a black and white book as well.
Black and white and color, both.
Yeah, because especially with your heavy inking style,
Yeah.
I think just color won't do justice for people who like really appreciate it.
See, even I love George Jimenez black and white drawings. Absolutely. It's mind blowing. I have told him as well, one day I want to see your black and white books.
George Clooney is like, apart from the fact that him himself looking like Superman, it's an amazing Superman artist. It's too early to ask, but have you been approached by any of the foreign publishers till now?
Not really.
I'm sure, considering the level of stuff that you're doing, that day is not really far behind.
Let's see.
So I first saw this book right here,
Yeah.
and this is the page that absolutely stood out. And the moment your art was available, immediately I may have been the first person to have contacted you. Because I'll tell you the reason why I got this particular piece. It's because I'm a big horror fan. So there's a movie called The Witch.
Yeah.
So what the ending scene of that movie is a bunch of witches around the fire, and like that is a very striking visual image. And to see that in comic form, especially by an Indian artist, I just couldn't let it go. So it's a sort of must-have.
I am very privileged that you have collected it because you are a great fan of comics and you have great knowledge, and I really respect that. And that's why it's my privilege that you have collected this. This is very, very good thing. Very good. And very supportive as it is.
Of going to a good home. Now, all I'm thinking about is how do I frame this? I just don't want an ordinary frame, so I'm looking up those options as well.
I think white frame, white on white, will be best. White frame with white chalk seal, that will be best. Because it will center to the up visually.
So, one more thing is the ghiblification that we saw. The world going crazy. Any thoughts on?
That's very disrespect the artist. Very. He don't support AI, and I don't support. People are just people without knowing the whole process, the laborious process the artists do for the artworks. And without knowing anything, they are just disrespecting the whole process by some AI crap. It's very unfortunate.
So there have been comments regarding people saying that it opens up to people who may have never experienced and are now finding out about Ghibli. So is there any water towards these, like the pros and the cons?
It's all of the wants because you need to respect first. If you respect an artwork, an artist, and the process, you cannot make things just like that with AI. You can draw. I think that's the best way to pay homage to any artist.
Just for the audience, if you are interested in more Indian artists and the artwork that they do, on Facebook we do have a group called the Indian Comics Art Collectors. So you can join and you can find Utsab himself over there and many of his works and other artists whom you can commission and get pieces like these. Is there any Indian comics writer or artist who
You want to collaborate in any Ambi from
is first on everyone's list, right? Do you find drawing hands difficult? Because hands and horses are what are very difficult for artists to actually.
not actually, because I love anatomy and I have beginnings from my beginning as well. I love to draw hands and whole anatomy.
You like attending Comic Cons in general? Now that I think you've attended, this is the third one, right?
Yeah. And I'm really enjoying. Really enjoying. Because I can meet with real artists